we are able to see that the Yoga Sutras provide a scientific process to attain a good life. A good life is that which arises from inside. So, though this is part of yoga, but this seems to be a yoga of the internal processes. Yoga of the external processes, I can teach. Hatha yoga, or asanas, shakarma, kriya, all that can teach. But the yoga of the inner development, I can't teach. You need to teach that to yourself. And that teaching is called realization. And to attain realization, our actions must be very consistent with what we want to achieve. What we want to achieve, we are thinking about it, but our actions are not relating to that, is not reflecting this, then there is a gap. And that gap, I believe, is memory. There seems to be a loss of memory about what we are supposed to do. So we have this so much of beautiful aspirations, but the actions are not reflecting that. And the person thinks, or the people think that they are doing it, but it's not happening. So, what is the issue here? Lapse in the memory. The mind seems to have lost itself in these great valleys of memory. Remembrance is a very important component. So, towards enlightenment, memory has a very strong component to remember. To remind myself, this is the goal, to remind. If the mind starts to think negative, remind myself, no, I'm not going to think. Otherwise, the negative mind is going to rule us, is going to overwhelm us. So at all times, if we are aware, then we realize that nothing external can ever determine your life. Even if you are under an iron fist rule. Someone is ruling over you with an iron fist. Things are happening beyond your control. So many things are happening. So those kind of things which we have seen in the history of mankind. But also it's a good lesson that even when so many things are motivating or forcing that one particular individual to do things which they would have never done before, there have been people who resisted against every attempt to change them. By forcing them to do things, some people have just refused to do that. They've even said that you can take away my life, you can harm my physical body, but I'm not going to allow even one thought of negativity to enter myself. What kind of heroes are they? They are not the ones carrying the guns and leading the nation, but they lead themselves. They don't allow even a single negative thought to enter their system. So we can say we are surrounded by negativity and violence and whatever that we can complain about, surrounded. But if we don't allow, can it come to me? If I don't allow, it cannot come to me. We can have faith in the whole world. We can faith in religion, faith in philosophy, faith in truth, faith in so many things. But if you don't have faith in yourself, none of this is going to work, isn't it? Just that one step of having strong will, clarity in our memory, and then faith in ourselves. In the Sanskrit word here, in this particular sutra, if you have an opportunity to look at the original verse translated, of course, to English, the word faith here is Shraddha. Shraddha here is not blind faith. Yoga is not about being blind, it's about questioning. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you can question, but the question cannot be violent. You have to ask, is it how can? Or you question yourself, or you reflect. Remember in asamprajnata, we spoke about what are the four qualities in asamprajnata samadhi. Samprajnata means knowing everything in detail. That particular point in your consciousness, everything is clear about yourself. This is very close to self-realization. Vitarka, that means the thoughts that are negative in nature that comes up. You're watching, isn't it? You're watching, you're not reacting. You are not reacting, you watch. Oh, hey, where is this coming from? It's not coming from my neighbor. It's coming from my own consciousness. Then, when the negative thoughts come, then automatically you see there is some kind of vichara, a reflection takes place, and you are not doing it willfully, it happens by itself. Then after the vichara has happened, what is the third stage that comes? When you have found an answer, what kind of feeling you get? That's something that you have been attempting to find throughout your life, but you get that information, that knowledge. How does it feel? Blissful, ananda, right? A vitarka, confusing negative thoughts. Vichara, reflection, understanding, ananda. And what is the fourth part? Yes, that means who is experiencing it? Asmita, me. Me fully. At that time, I realize who I am. Isn't this what we are searching for? You'll find that unconsciously, people are actually looking for themselves. Therefore, doing so many things externally in order to find themselves, but they cannot still find. But sitting and doing yoga, which is nothing external, just attempting to understand myself physically, going according to my capacity, I learn to understand. And then comes me. Who am I? What am I? What is the purpose of this life? So to attain all of this, we require strong faith in ourselves. But please, if this faith is together with blind faith, then it becomes a fanatical process. And we don't allow anything good to come from us from any other process. For a person who is truly enlightened, then you have to study the life of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was the guru of Vivekananda. He started practicing yoga, meditation from the Vedic religious point, and then he left. Then he went to the mosque, he became a Muslim, and then he attained. Then he left the mosque, then he embraced Christianity. And he saw that, hey, I was able to find the truth in all these paths. So he declared very clearly, with so much of confidence, that you can attain the ultimate truth through all good ways. And there is no limit to how many good ways that we can find. So truly universal, isn't it? So this kind of individuals are not going to talk highly about only one. They're going to find harmony, love and peace with every path. And therefore, truly, the person is of all paths. But having said this, if someone comes and says that, okay, I have this path, but this path you have to torture some people. And then you find that, no, he's very clear. Because he has intelligence. He has intelligence. This intelligence means that he is actually refined common sense. That's just refined high quality common sense, knowing what is right, what is not right, what to choose, what not to choose, and then it comes. This intelligence comes at the fourth stage of yogic development. Annamaya, physical development; Pranamaya, energy development; Manomaya, intellectual development. Then comes this highly intuitive state. And then finally is your Anandamaya. This intuition is so valuable, but the issue is that it is always suppressed by the thinking mind. The mind comes and interferes. You know, something is, you really sense it. This intuition, I tell you, is the greatest gift which we are carrying without knowing. And then we are buying so many other gifts. But the greatest gift is, the gift is inside. You intuitively know. Just like the mother knows when to feed the baby. You don't have to read Dr. Spock, how to raise the child, how to give milk. You don't have to. Intuition, you know. Through intuition, you can understand and feel. The moment the noisy mind comes in, the intellect, then everything goes off. The intuition is so much. That is intelligence. Intuition is intelligence. So others attain through the stages of faith, not blind faith, shraddha, which is love actually for yourself in finding the good in others. Strong will. Oh my, this is very important, isn't it? That we continuously are doing and finding the beautiful feelings in our body. Have you felt, I'm sure you have, including some of your friends who have been practicing yoga for a long time or some form of spiritual or prayer practices where they tell you, today I don't feel so connected with myself. Then you ask them, they will say, I did not practice yoga. I did not practice my prayer. I did not practice my meditation. And have you seen this kind of experience with people who are doing something of a higher nature and then they feel that they don't feel so connected or as optimum as they can be, and they say it's not because they did not take their coffee, did not see a movie or did not meet their best friend. No, it is this practice. So that means this practice is like food. It's like a food to another dimension of the system. If we do our rituals, our practices and all, which is feeding so many other dimensions, then we do all the activities in the world, non-stress. No stress will ever come, no matter what the situation or no matter how much the activities are, nothing can stress you because you are balanced right from the beginning. So we shall conclude. Thank you very much. Namaskar.